Hi everybody, it's me, Justin of the Justin Zone. Now, this is what I call final thoughts of Season 1. Nothing too big, nothing too extreme. It's just a look back on the first episodes, the this and that. But I got a very special treat for you. You know, there was a reason I started this show, and it was because of guys called the Awfully Bad Movie Club. Now, these guys, they do awfully bad movies, and one day I was discussing with Jason, you know, hey, why don't you have me on the show and let me talk about the facts, you know, and he actually took that to heart. I always ran around the store saying, you're in the Justin Zone, ooh, and stuff like that, and that's where kind of the idea came from. And, you know, now let's watch as the very first episode, or the very first appearance for me, as Justin of the Justin Zone.
Listen to music challenge, when this kid is like, oh my god, it's a little bit moist outside, I have to turn out!
There's gonna be a car accident.
Welcome, Awfully Bad Movie Club, to the Justin Zone.
Do not attempt to adjust your settings. You are now in the Justin Zone.
Did you know that Kristen Stewart herself was in Panic Room, The Messenger, and also she was in... Did you know Wolf Boy, or Jacob, was in a movie called The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl? I give his career about maybe 2 or 3 years after this, and he's done. Where were their fangs? Did they go, I have fangs? But no, they did not do that. I smell him, and I don't even want to come after him like I don't want to drink his blood. There's no such thing as an ugly vampire. Except when Buffy, when they look, and I've seen many vampires. Well, not really, but, you know, in the movies. If Edward were the gayest vampire ever, he'd be right up there as the gayest vampire ever. I mean, okay, I'm going to slick my hair back. I'm going to look all mascara-like, and I'm going to sparkle. That's why we watch these movies, to watch them feed off a hot chick. Yummy! You're the hot guy. I'm gonna go punch on him for a while. Hi.
And that right there was my first appearance on the Awfully Bad Movie Club. I did another one, but I like watching that one because it's memorable. And yes, I will actually be posting this on my website before in the middle of today. So anyway, let's get to the nit and gritty. Now, I asked a lot of people to submit a couple comments, and I asked Jason of the Awfully Bad Movie to write what he thought of the Justin Zone, and here's what he had to say. Ernest Hemingway once said, "I drink to make other people more interesting." Ernest Hemingway is dead now, and no one cares about him anymore. Justin Adams is not dead, nor can Justin Adams ever die, because Justin Adams created his very own web show. I have no idea if web show is an actual word, so every time I type it, it's going to come in quotation marks. Justin Adams' web show, which is called The Justin Zone, is the best web show in the history of web shows. Now, I realize I'm not saying much because web shows, by definition, are terrible, stupid, awful little things created by the mentally disabled and the insanely narcissistic, something like that. But his is the best ever made. No one else should ever make another web show ever again. The Justin Zone wins. The Justin Zone wins everything. Shut down the internet because it's all downhill from in here. The Justin Zone will live forever. The Justin Zone can never die. All hail Justin Adams. Aliens Keys. And Andrew Rhodes, a good friend of mine, also commented on this and said, beautiful, well said. And I actually had several people like this. Let's see. We got Will, Rachel, Chris, Regular, Tone, and Andrew. Now, also, Chris actually went and commented on about this, too. It surprises me that more have not written about the Justin Zone. What could possibly keep you from expressing your love of this show? It is because if you don't love it, I question if you are an emotionless android. If you haven't written about the Justin Zone, perhaps it's because you're afraid of what it means to love. I know that I love it. I also quote, quite sure I am not an emotionless android, or not an android. How could I have not loved it? What else could you find such interesting guest stars such as Sexy Male Girl and Paperback Jesus, my personal favorites. The Justin Zone is the purest form of entertainment that could be found in the multiverse. You should love, or so swallow your fears, stand up, profess your love of the Justin Zone. Remember, Paperback Jesus is watching you. Now, sorry about that. So we're back. The Justin Zone was just something I said, this has to be done. I mean, how many times, you have a lot of different shows, but they're all edited, they're all scripted. I am not scripted. I do no scripts whatsoever. I've done this show for almost a year now. I'm getting into the next season. Yeah, and I would like to quote, yes, there will be another season. I have very many plans for the next season. I have movies somewhat already picked out. Twins will be the very first film I do. I have a movie picked out for Valentine's Day, nothing too key. There's, I apparently that everybody loves, we'll find him here, everybody loves Paperback Jesus. Well, unfortunately, I can't always use Paperback Jesus, even though he is watching you. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make other Paperback characters because, frankly, everyone seemed to be happy with the Paperback characters. I'm glad that everyone's enjoyed this show over the years. I'm up to 1,351 views. That's pretty cool. I've also upped my fan base up to 45. These are people I don't even know, and somehow some of them I know and some I don't know, but still, it's just nice to know that some people have taken the time to sit and watch my show and experience for what it is just me being honest about how I like the movie world. So, I mean, there's one show in particular that has always inspired me to do this. It was called Mystery Science Theater 3000. I was actually a member of their fan club, and I loved watching it. It was a shame they took it off the air. I mean, yes, they sat and go, oh, look at this, stuff like that with the movies. That was actually really funny. I thought, well, maybe I can do that someday. And then Jason took that, and this is how it started. So there are several people I want to thank. I want to get to the last. There is one important person I want to save for last. Well, first I want to thank Jason of the Awfully Bad Movie Club. He really helped me get this off the ground. He's always been helpful with the show. I want to thank Andrew Rhodes. He actually got me really started in the whole acting career. I did his movie Wounded Hearts. I thank him to this day. I mean, I never thought I could actually be any more than just me. Anyway, I want to thank my really good friend Greg Ferroli. He has been an inspiration as a friend and a brother. And finally, I want to thank the one more important person in my life. I want to thank Sarah Potvin. She has been the most inspirational person I've ever been with in a relationship. She's loving, she's caring, she means the world to me. I finally found my soulmate. And I get that energy to do whatever I can possible to make something of myself for her. By doing that, I think I've accomplished a lot, and I thank her. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for just being with her. So, and anyway, I have a very special treat for you, but I'm going to cut off quick, and we're going to get... So what would the Justin Zone be without one last kick up, and let's do this thing, because it's time for just random dancing.
I'm sexy, I know it.
This has been the Justin Zone, very first season. Thank you. Enjoy. We'll be back for season 2.